Lancaster University has really transformed the way it thinks about sustainable food over the last couple of years. It's developed an integrated range of projects which is put together as part of the Grow It, Eat It, Live It submission to the Green Gown Awards.
If an institution wants to be really globally significant, it should aspire to excellence in all of the things it does, including the catering of food and also the student experience. And I think some of the things that we're doing here around the Eco Hub and the kite marks that you're getting for the food offering are really playing into that by showing that we aspire to be the best in all the things that we do.
A whole range of departments have been involved at Lancaster in the project, in facilities, the environment team, in Students' Union, our Green Lancaster team. We've had our catering team and our grounds team have all been involved in putting together all the different projects that have gone to the Grow It, Eat It, Live It project.
Grow It, Eat It, Live It has been about bringing together a range of projects that are taking place here at the university at the moment, all focused on the themes of sustainable agriculture and food, and particularly engaging students and staff in those agendas. So one of the projects that I focus on in particular has been Edible Campus, and that's been a student union run project, and that's seen us develop a wide range of projects from this fantastic eco hub that you can see all around me here. That's a 1,500 square metre site where we grow a range of annual crops. We have soft fruits, we have the fruit trees, and even this enclosure with our small flock of ex-battery hens, as you can see, that we've got here today. We've also developed a number of broader sites beyond the Eco Hub here on campus that are really about reaching out to a broader audience and telling them about food sustainability in different ways. So out and about on campus we have areas of pick your own fruits, we've got help yourself herb beds, we also have massive areas of wildflower meadow and also over 100 fruiting trees.
It really has got the university, different departments working together more effectively. And it's also enabled us to bring in some of the teaching and research aspects as well. So it really has sort of helped us put together a big team to encourage sustainable food at Lancaster University.
I think having the Food for Life and Edible Campus initiatives here in LEC has been, well, here at the university has been a really fantastic thing for us here in the Lancaster Environment Centre, because food is one of the things that we that comes up quite a lot in our teaching and research, and it's actually great to be able to have like practical evidence of these issues being kind of tackled on campus here, so that we can kind of take students and show them these examples directly on the ground, and also use the university as a bit of a case study for for how these issues actually play out in reality.
As a university, I think it's really important to give variety about what we offer, and as we walk across campus and go around the different units, there's so many different things that we're doing here at Lancaster. We've got a vegetarian restaurant where we are today, we've got a fine dining restaurant, we've got restaurants where we serve bowl and pies, we've got delis. So I feel from the customer's point of view we get very good feedback about the variety and the different levels of food that we do. And also we've been asked by other universities and other organisations to talk to them about how we are doing what we're doing at Lancaster University, and people seem to be very interested about the food and what we're doing here.
These projects aren't just of academic importance, that they actually have like a kind of real world significance for our students and staff at the university. So obviously food sovereignty, food security is like a huge issue today that we're facing at a global scale. And I think, if the university was just to be teaching about it but not actually kind of putting any of these things into practice, I think, we'd be missing something really big.
This particular scheme that we've got behind as the Mediterranean herb beds, that was designed in conjunction with the Green Lancaster volunteers as part of the overall project, and then my staff worked with the volunteers actually planting it and maintaining it after.
There's an expectation almost that this programming happens and that Edible Campus is a real thing that takes place on campus, and I think for a lot of us, to have students proactively come and try to find us, that was a real highlight. That these 2 years of work have really kind of done something.
There's a lot of people are very good at growing things, but when they grow them, they really come to a point then where they actually don't know what to do with them. And there's many various vegetables that you grow, like celeriac and butternut squash, and people grow them, they look fantastic, but then they actually don't know what to do. We started doing some cookery classes for students, and that's grown really, where we've done lots of different things, like pasta evenings and bread making and chocolate work.
The sustainable food projects we've had running have helped spawn other ideas. A really good one that's come up, developed by an environmental champion, has been the glut market.
And it was basically sort of like, I suppose, like speed dating for vegetables, really, in that we've got quite a lot of people here in the department who are kind of keen growers and allotmenteers, and obviously a lot of produce being produced here on campus as well through Edible Campus. And the idea was to kind of match up people who had that produce with people who might want to buy it. So again, a lot of people here don't have gardens, but they're keen on cooking, or they'd like somewhere in the workplace where they can come and get fresh, local, sustainable food.
The purpose of the wider food growing sites outside of the Eco Hub here are to inspire people who wouldn't otherwise get involved in perhaps practical hands-on volunteering down here on site, to think about where their food's coming from, and potentially also actually get involved because they've seen their campus environment change. So for example, the Pick Your Own Fruits area, which is quite extensive, is in a very highly frequented area outside a number of teaching spaces and also some living spaces, and one of the biggest bars on campus as well, with the aim that a lot of passers-by will see what's going on there, they'll read the information boards, and then they'll find out more about the projects and want to get more deeply involved in one way or another, whether that's the interactive events or the practical volunteering.
Nice thinking about sustainability and where your food comes from. So it's nice learning how the chickens we've got, for example, how they've got space to roam, free roam, as opposed to caged battery hens, which are absolutely crammed in. So we've got a few hens at the moment, but if this was a caged factory process, we'd have thousands, we'd have 1,900 chickens in that space if they were used for cooking. So it's about learning where your food comes from and just living in a sustainable way, really.
I do think that it's made students think about more about where their food comes from, and the fact that it's all over campus, it's not just localised in this Eco Hub area here, is a great way to just engage with students in their environment, and means that they can really think about how cool it is that there's stuff growing in their campus for them. They can do it whenever they want, pick it up whenever they want, and it's really nice to see that reflected in the way the university works as well. So the way the university catering has thought about more of the provenance of where its food comes from.
You know, initially the university was very positive and keen to see some developments with Edible Campus. As the project has grown and kind of legitimized itself, and they've seen the number of people that want to get involved, they've been really great about trying to supplement things here or push the project there. A real good example is with in the facilities department with the landscapes manager. And I think previously he would have walked around and said, oh well, what's going to happen with this site? And now he's down here asking us about what kind of flowers we're growing, and seeing, you're really happy to see that produce is coming off the site.
It's also allowed staff to engage with students where, as before, we wouldn't have had, or they wouldn't have had that opportunity. So they've worked with them during the volunteer activities, and they've brought their knowledge, and they've been able to engage with students at the same time.
I think, for some students, it's even about community. There's other societies and there's other ways to get involved on campus, but they find this as their activity for that kind of camaraderie and community building that the other activities don't offer. I think that's pretty powerful. So.
And the whole growing process, it's not something I've ever done before, but it's just something I find really interesting, having done it for a year and a bit. And it's something I've taken home a little bit with a little herb garden, growing some tomatoes for the first time. But it's just something I didn't think I'd find interesting, but actually I really enjoy.
It's really been a pleasure to work on sustainable food projects over the last 2 years and see the transformation of Lancaster University to having a sustainable food culture.